Okay, so, hi. Hi. I've been thinking a lot today about trauma. Trauma and the feeling of powerlessness and frustration, or the feelings of powerlessness and frustration. And so I needed to come and do a quiet space project. That's why we're doing another video about drawing, over the drawings. And in my book, I have a character named Jack, who I've talked about many times, who feels powerless all the time, frustrated all the time, angry because of his powerlessness, and traumatized because of things that have happened to him. But he lives in a community that values him, that values all of his potential. And so the characters in this book do something that you should do when you're in a community. They listen, they care. So I wanted to do, they care about the community as a whole, because the one traumatized person or being, their anger, their frustration will emanate and keep emanating, and we have a choice. We can blame the person, the character, or the person that was traumatized, and try and change them through force, or we can listen. And it is it is better for the community to listen, support, and care. And so I hope that was clear. But anyway, that's what we're going to illustrate tonight. And we're not going to be doing, we're going to be illustrating Jack, who is traumatized and feeling broken. He's talking to Dixie, the little bird. And Dixie just listens and tries to understand, even though Dixie has not experienced the traumas and doesn't have a way to completely understand Jack's frustration and his fear and his anger. He's doing what's best for the community as a whole in listening. And they will move forward from there. But we're going to make not a 3D standing illustration that we've made. What we're going to do instead is build this in layers. We're going to start off with the background, and the background will be a line like this, and I hope the camera angle makes it easier for you to see what I'm doing, so I'm not just holding up pieces of paper. This is the entryway to Jack's home. Rabbits do live in the ground. They build these little tunnels in the ground. They don't have one entrance. They don't have one exit, or one way in, one way out. They always have at least 2 ways in, 2 ways out, so they're safer. If they're being attacked, they have options. So this is what we're going to work on. There's the entryway to, or entry or exit way to, one of them, to Jack's home. He's by the bushes, so we're going to, this is just a basic line for bushes, okay? That'll be the backdrop. Let's grab our big fat marker and get to work. Remember, the bushes are just squiggly lines. That's all they are, because it's leaves and sticks and all kinds of chaos in the background. This is going to be a line for grass. So, once again, a little bit of chaos. Lines coming and going like this. Nothing too specific. And then we'll draw the hole. Okay? And that again is ground, so it's going to be a little chaotic like that. Nothing has to be smooth and perfect. Okay? Let's do a little bit more back here. A lot more squiggly lines. Oh, I think my little pen is drying out. Let me see another one. There we go. My little Sharpie. I've been getting a lot of work lately. So you see the squiggly lines? That's for bushes. Let's do this as well. Let's split the bushes up into segments. I just drew lines going everywhere. And we're going to do more squigglies. And the more squigglies inside. Oh, sorry, I was looking at something. So they're fat squiggly lines and skinny squiggly lines. And then we're going to do lots of straight lines or hatch marks. Like so. Okay. They can go in all kinds of directions. I was going to start a painting tonight, but I really needed to do this. Really needed quiet space. Okay. Let's make some leaves to put on there too, so that it makes a little bit of sense, a little bit more sense. Pardon me. And the leaves again, like we've done in other videos, are a line down the center, 1, 2 curvy lines, just like that. Line down the center, 1, 2 curvy lines. Line down the center, 1, 2 curvy lines. Okay? Line down the center, 1, 2 curvy lines. They're going to be kind of big leaves for those bushes. Maybe we'll make some small ones too. 2. Line down the center, 1, 2 curvy. Things are chaotic, or I'm upset, this is something that helps to keep me calm. I used to do this when I was a kid too. Just go and draw. Do you see what I'm doing? Not complicated. Line down the middle, 1, 2 lines on either side, curvy lines. And I'm doing some without the lines down the middle. 2 curvy lines, just so they're a little fuller. Okay. grab our scissors and cut those out. Oops. Kitty. Kitty's walking around the desk. Sorry, I hope I'm doing this within view. Yeah, quiet time, quiet drawing. Doing drawing projects helps me to think things through sometimes, or to try and understand. So that's why I thought we'd do another one. It's for me. Hopefully this helps you too. Alright, so let's grab a glue stick. Yeah, I haven't been to the dollar store, so I've got this purple glue sticks. That's okay though. Let's just see where are these going to fit best. It doesn't really matter where you place them. You put them wherever you feel they should be. Purple glue on there. It's alright. It's okay. There we go. I glued down my leaves. We know it's bushes now. Okay. Let's go ahead and draw Jack and Dixie sitting together. Dixie can be quite a selfish bird, but he doesn't mean to be. He can be very controlling, but he doesn't mean to be. So we're going to have him listening to Jack. So we're going to draw a circle. It's going to have his head bent just a little bit. It's just a circle. But he's going to have his head bent down. Below him, just a curvy line like this. And with we're going to draw the angle of the head down like this. It's his listening stance. It's his kind, I'm trying to hear you stance. Instead of standing straight up. Let's get his head bent just a little bit. Okay, so there he is. It's a circle. Sorry, I went quickly. It's a circle. Big curvy line. Circle for his glasses, because he does wear glasses. Notice where his eye is. I should have done this in the beginning. That cross section shows you the middle of his head. If he were sitting upright, his eye would be closer to here. But we've got him down. He's saying to Jack, I'm listening, so we lowered his eye down here. Okay, if you want to copy. And then his beak. So that's the angle everything's going to go in. That's the angle. Okay. So there's a basic Dixie. Now we're going to draw Jack, and Jack is a little bit more complicated. I'm putting this over the hole in the ground, his home. The entryway and exit, one of the exits to his home. We're going to draw Jack is a little bent. So you know what, actually that's what we're going to figure out, is his body angle. He's feeling bent and broken and a little sad, and he needs someone to talk to, someone to listen to him. So we're going to curve him down. Just a little. That would be his spine, his back. It's not broken, it's just bent. We're going to have his head as an egg shape, angling down towards the hole. His eye, okay, is going to be down on the lower point in the egg, just down a little bit. Not in the center, but lower. Okay. We're going to have his ears, but they're going to be back. He's very sad. He lit out his frustrations earlier in the day, and now he's drained and he's tired, so he needs a friend. His ears are pointed down. So we've done the antenna before where they come up, but they're going to come up and bend down just a little bit, up and down. Okay. Now draw the rest of his body. And let's not forget, his body is basically a rectangle, although this is now a bent rectangle. So we're going to mimic his back. The front is going to mimic his back. We're going to have him he's sitting on his bum with his legs in the hole. Okay. All right, just like that. There's his legs. His knees coming down. And he is wearing a hoodie, but we're going to draw his arms first. There's one arm, and it's just a line, a curved line, with his hands in his lap. He's sitting quietly and talking now. Okay, so this will look more like his paws in a minute, but those are just ovals. Tiny, that's a smaller oval, but there's an oval for a hand. Let's not forget the hood on his hoodie. Let's see, where'd it go? It should be a line out. Down. Okay. Just like that. So his hoodie has angles to it. There's the part that would be on top of his head. Okay. So there's Jack. Let's get our big fat pen. Give it a go. Oh, I forgot. His head is going to be made up of of angles as well. So we started off with an egg shape, but there's the top of his head. That's leading down to his nose. And there we are, there's his nose. So there's the top of his head, the angle leading down to his nose, and his nose. Okay, which normally we draw, but tonight we're not going to. We're going to keep this simple. All right, let's start off with the top of his head. And coming down to his nose. Oh, sorry, I usually start off with the eye. What was I thinking? There we go. His chin and his jaw. Okay. Ooh, let's grab a pencil again because I forgot we're going to do his ears too. And ears are just going to be a curvy line. Let's see, outside, curvy line. And another curvy line. Curve, curve. All right. Let's draw the ears. And I do like to give him a little bit of hair because he is a hairy little bunny. Okay. See the little hairs? Little hairs. Let's go ahead and draw the hoodie. Ooh. Piece of paper. Okay. The back of his jacket, or his hoodie rather. The waist of his hoodie. And we'll do his arm. His arm is just a curve. Curve. Front of his hoodie. And then an oval. Kind of a broken oval for his hands. Okay. You see how I did the lines? Just just broken lines. I forgot his tail too. He's sitting on his bum, but he's got a little tail. Let's draw that. Now I want you to look at the tail. It's not a perfect, it's a leaf shape, but there's fur sticking off. So I just did broken lines sticking out. Okay. Let's draw his keister. His bum, his little rabbit bum. Let's go ahead and do his right leg. Like that. So line to his knee and line down. Let's draw his other leg, line to his knee and line down. I forgot. We didn't draw the underside of his leg and the back the back of his calf. Okay, we didn't draw his calf, so we're going to do that. Okay. So he's sitting on the hole. Let's grab Dixie. Once again, let's start off with his eyes, so I make sure I get it right. I want to draw the feather coming out the top of his head. Woof. Let's draw the back of his head. Let's go around to the front. Down to his mouth. Okay. Again, the lines aren't straight or perfect. They're dotted and dashed sometimes. I'm going to draw his beak, which is just a rectangle. Okay. And his glasses. The frame of his lens. Okay, right there, another circle. Now we're going to tackle that big swoosh. And it doesn't need to be one line of swoosh. Okay, it can be broken like that, just like that. A little bit easier, and it gives a character. And there's his back. So these guys are pretty much done. Let's just erase some of the pencil lines. You know what we forgot, or I forgot, was an eyebrow for Jack. And it's going to be lifted up. Just have to find the right way to lift it. Because he's sad. There we go. So it's above his eye, and it's a slight curve up. Slight curve up. Slight curve up. And that will express his sadness. I think we will do this with the fat marker. Just like that. And I always make the heavier line down here, light dots there, and heavier down there, and that expresses a sadness. Right? Let's take our skinny pen and do lines in the eyes, just like that. Just some lines in the eyes. Okay. Now, let's see. Do we need to add anything more? I think a little bit more hair back there. He's been through a lot, so it might be a little bit more tattered. A little line. No. I was going to say let's put a little line under here, pulling his head around, but I think we're going to leave it. Okay, let's grab our scissors. We've done so many drawings with friendship and community and playing, and we built a reading teepee. We've built houses. This one is just a drawing about being heard, which is really one of the most valuable things valuable gifts you can give a friend. We've done gifts about love, or we've done illustrations about love, about memory. I know being heard is one of the best gifts you can ever give anyone in your life or in your community. It makes them feel valuable. Okay, so Jack's going to go there. We'll cut out Dixie. I think we all have people in our lives that try and make us be something we're not. It is rare and important to be the person that just says, I understand, and how can we fix this? Okay, we didn't draw the outside of Dixie's tail, but I'm not going to worry about it. We're just having that the idea of a tail, and having those lines jut up. Okay, and we got to get Jack to sit. He's going to sit on that with his legs dangling in the hole. So I'm going to cut just the bottom piece off so his legs are dangling. Give the illusion of dangling. Cut it off right there. Maybe I'll cut off the back if it's cut off that line right that I had back here on his leg. Let's see what happens. Just, yeah, that works a little bit better, and it's funny because it lines up right there. Lines up with lines I've already made. So I'm going to glue Jack down now that I know where he's going. Not a lot of glue, as you can see. We don't need them pasted down. I sometimes like having the paper, leaving the paper to lift up. It makes it feel more spontaneous and more real. Here we go. As real as cartoon characters can be. So now we got to find a good place for Dixie. So it looks like Dixie is listening. Oh, I forgot, we had to darken up the hole. We can do that in a sec, though. We've already glued him down, so we can do that in a sec. We don't want Dixie up too high. We don't want him to look and feel superior to Jack. He is instead accepting what Jack is saying and listening. If he's up too high, he'll feel like he's in charge, and we don't want that. We want Jack in charge of the conversation. Okay, so we're just going to put Dixie down a little low. Let's see, how does that look? Is he looking up at Jack? Yeah, just like that. Yeah. Just like that. All right, let's put in some lines for the hole, because this is a dirt hole that goes down into his house. And we will draw his house another day, because he has an entire house he's built underground. Rabbits are pretty smart guys. Okay, so there's the lines indicating dirt. And we're going to do the same thing we did in the bushes, just squiggly lines around. Okay, and maybe some grass, lines for grass. Okay, let's do the same thing. Let's see, right around Dixie, because Dixie's sitting on the grass. Oop. Do some squiggly lines around Dixie, maybe in back of Dixie. And some lines for grass. Just like that. You see? Squiggly lines around the hole, some lines sticking up for grass, and the same thing with Dixie. I was thinking maybe we'd give the leaves some texture, but I don't think we're going to worry about it tonight. Let's do the sky. Let's put in some clouds for, oh, I better cover this. I don't want my glue to dry out. Let's put in some clouds for, or let's put in some clouds. We've done this before. We've done this a couple times now. They're just curves in the sky. The curves above the bushes. Okay, we're going to do this with our skinny pen in just a sec. You see the curves? I've got little curves, big curves, a very big curve, more little curves. In fact, I like to put in very little curves sometimes in between. All right? We don't have to do lines. We can do dots and dashes, just like that. I hope you can see it. Dots and dashes, because we want the clouds to feel light. Kind of feel like it's gonna be okay. That's what we want the clouds to feel like. Okay. Nice and light. Maybe you can see better now that I've got it upside down. I like to draw lines for wind, like the clouds are being swept just a tiny bit. Oop. That didn't come out so great, but that's okay. So we have a little bit of wind. We have the clouds, and there we go. Ooh. All right, so again, this is something you can photocopy, and then you've got a coloring project. But maybe you know someone who's very sad, or someone who needs to be listened to. You've been having a hard time. And they're just feeling alone and powerless. Ooh, I'm so sorry, Jack. Ooh. Maybe this is something you could make for them. I don't want this to be all about sadness. It's just sometimes we need to know we're being heard and that we're valuable. That's what that's about, okay? All right, we'll see you again. Ciao. Ciao.